Hey everybody, Justin Worden here, and you're watching What's New in Electronics. We are here at IPC Apex 2024 in Anaheim. I'm with John Hoffman of Nordson, Test and Inspection.
You got it.
I got it?
You got it.
That was our third take, guys, sorry. All right, man, so hey, you got a unique background, all right? You guys went through an acquisition a couple years ago, and you're one of the people that actually came over from cyber optics. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been at Cyber Optics for 13 years now. We got acquired by Nordson. The deal closed November of 2022, and we've been getting integrated into Nordson's whole collection of leading edge inspection technology. So we bring optical inspection to the table. Nordson already had acoustic and X-ray as well.
So yeah, Nordson, I mean, they work in a lot of different industries. You gave me a cool little background, and we'll save that for another video. But specifically with the test and the inspection, you guys got a lot of new products coming out, a lot of new technology. So you want to dive a little deeper into that?
Right, so within optical sensors and metrology, which is the division we're part of, we are bringing to market a system called SQ3000 Plus. And so that is the next generation AOI system for very, very small components, micro LEDs, Metrico 402s, Metrico 201s, just all the very tiny things that are getting placed on these circuit boards that we now can inspect with some of our leading edge MRS sensors.
Well, it's an interesting time right now because, especially in the inspection space, we're at a weird crossroads where the demand for smaller, faster production is there, but people are still kind of hanging on to like the legacy products. So how are you guys able to like stick in the middle and be able to service both sides of things?
Well, we do that by having different sensors with different types of resolutions and different capabilities. So we still have our sensor suite from 5-10 years ago, which has much coarser resolution, and now we go all the way down to these 5-micron spatial resolution PXM25, which is the key sensor in our SQ3000 Plus platform.
One more checkbox we have to get to. The buzzword, you know what I'm going to get into, is data and AI. And with inspection, this is becoming more and more relevant because people want all this data. I don't know if they necessarily know what they want to do with it yet, but that's where the AI piece comes in. So why don't you shed a little more information on that?
So, we can generate all the data you want all day long, every day, right? And so a big part of that is what essential measurements do you want from that data to encapsulate that characterizes your production, but yet won't fill up, football fields worth of hard drives. And so that ends up being a negotiation, honestly, between the customer and us. So we provide all that data is available to the customer over a bunch of industry standard APIs that they can then collect and store all the data that they want, that they think they want. And so it's kind of like, how big is their pocketbook? Like, we'll give them all the raw images if they want, or they can give them just like summary statistics about their boards or individual components on their board. And so it's a negotiation basically between us and them to decide what they want to save.
Well, one of the things that I find very interesting about your company in particular is, again, you can give them all the data. I think people in the beginning, they're like, well, yeah, we want everything. But then you guys can take it to the next level. You're more than just selling them a piece of equipment. You're kind of counseling them and training them on exactly what they need, not to collect data, but to make sure they're inspecting their product properly.
Exactly, and so we have a whole bunch of algorithms, a whole suite of algorithms that we bring to bear on our data that we're generating to summarize that data for them. And so we can characterize the types of defects they're seeing, we can classify them, we can create summary statistics on the parts so that they don't have to store every pixel of data, but can save basically summary measures of the data.
You don't want to go. Yeah, we can talk about that too long. We'll lose the audience if we talk too much about data. But I want to come back to the equipment side. All right, so inspection is a very competitive market. There's a lot of equipment out there. A lot of people here at this show selling equipment. And the biggest challenge a lot of people have is when you're going to switch from brand to brand, right? You guys have your customers that they're going to buy from you guys. They'll probably buy from you forever because of your customer service and the algorithms and how you help them with the data side of things, and obviously a quality product. But walk me through the onboarding process of someone that's thinking about switching from a different brand, because that's a very nerve-wracking and overwhelming challenge with inspection machines.
Actually, I was just talking to a customer today who was complaining because they had used a system that used one of our sensors, but it was, so we make sensors, we sell those sensors to OEMs. We also make sensors and put them in our own systems. And so they had used a system from a separate OEM, and they're like, hey, we did all these inspections with the old system, but now we're switching to yours. Like, why isn't this simpler? And that's a huge challenge because the way you configure the inspection algorithms is unique to each vendor. You know, the parameters that they need to perform the inspection, that's unique. That's their secret sauce. So we do things, and we're in the process of bringing some things to market that are still in the lab about simplifying that process so that you can do the programming more quickly, more efficiently. So you don't have to have apps, you don't have to have engineers doing the programming, but maybe you can get by with technicians doing the programming. So that's definitely an area that we're getting feedback on, where to simplify the programming as much as possible as part of that transition and part of that onboarding process.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big challenge that a lot of manufacturers are facing, because when you go and buy a shiny new project, you want to start using it right away. And that onboarding process can be overwhelming. And, you know,
Absolutely.
a little bit ago, not too big of a deal because all the machines kind of work the same. But as we integrate more data, more AI, the learning curve is growing.
That's going to be a huge challenge, because as we move to AI-enabled inspections, you have to train your AI on the data. And so you're going to have to go through that whole training process. And so that is the big challenge where I think a lot of innovation can happen, is how do you create AIs that don't need to be trained for every individual inspection? And these are definitely questions we're looking at, and as is everyone else.
So we're going to switch gears a little bit. We know you guys build a quality product. Let's just say inspection is inspection. Let's get over to the intangibles, the service side of the business. I mean, you went through an acquisition, and sometimes when there's an acquisition, people get nervous, right? It's like, well, the good people are gone. The service and quality is not going to be there anymore. Let's talk about that.
That's actually, frankly, been one of the exciting things to see, is that Cyber Optics has historically had a very tight corporate culture, and a lot of that culture is getting transferred to within Nordson. And so, you know, all of our apps engineers came across and have stayed with us. So the people that the customers are working with, the technicians they're working with, like none of that's changed at all. And so, and our entire engineering staff has come across, and you know, the next generation products are being built by the same group of people. And so that's been very exciting to see that the culture's been strong enough to be able to weather that transition, because it's disruptive. You know, there's been, you know, senior management level changes, and that definitely creates some uncertainty, but we as an organization appear to be weathering that storm pretty well.
Well, I think part of that is, I mean, a testament to the investment they make. I mean, they brought over key people like yourself that have not only the experience, but that culture lives within you, right? And you want to relay that to your new customers.
Yeah.
With inspection growing in more and more places, large facilities, small facilities are really opting into the inspection place, because you know, a good customer can do a lot of good for you, but a bad customer can do a lot of bad. And you know, one bad board leaving a factory can really tarnish their legacy. So the question I have for you is, what markets are you seeing like inspection like emerging and really becoming more apparent?
One of the emerging markets really is wafer level inspection, right? And so what's happening is more and more of the packaging processes that used to be done by OSATs are actually being pushed into the fab. And we're seeing lots of processes that used to be done outside the fab actually coming into the fab. Part of that's because of the die-on-die stacking and the heterogeneous packaging. It's pushing a lot of these technologies. That's where a ton of innovation is happening. And so there's a lot of really exciting opportunities in that space, we believe.
You know, I know you need to get a new business card. I think you need to have like Mr. Inspection put on there. I mean, you got a wealth of knowledge in this space, and I can see why you're sitting here with me today. But for those that don't know much about Nordson, what's the best way they can get a hold of you guys?
The website, nordson.com, and just drill into there and find test and inspection, and you'll have all, you know, Carla, our head marketer, has amazing testimonials on all of our products that people can look at and understand more about them.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful show.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay.